What is going on, NFL fans? Welcome back to the JL Day Sports Show. Today, we're going to be breaking down all the divisions in the NFL, and I'm going to give you my predictions for each and every division, 1 through 4. We're going to start with the NFC West and with the AFC East. Let's get into it. The NFC West is really the only division I see playing out very similar to last year. First place, the San Francisco 49ers. They still have the best roster in the NFL, even though we have some breaking news today. Brandon Ayuk and the 49ers seem to be not on the same page, and we're moving closer and closer to a trade. Reports are coming out that the Browns and Patriots are both putting packages together to trade Brandon Ayuk from San Francisco and sign a long-term deal with those teams. He's got 1 year left on his deal, so the trade compensation is probably not going to be huge, but Ayuk's going to have to want the extension that he has been looking for, so we'll see how that goes. LA Rams, we got some injury news. Puka Nacua injured his knee on Sunday, so we'll have to see how that plays out. They need Puka Nacua to be successful. And if he's hurt, it's really going to put a lot of pressure on Cooper Kupp. And honestly, I was watching him in training camp. He looks like he might have lost a step, guys. Rams fans, don't kill me, but I was watching him run routes, and it looks like he was going full blast, but it doesn't look like that old, super quick, shifty Cooper Kupp that we're used to seeing. And then, coming in at third place is Seattle. I'm just still really concerned about that offensive line. If they figure out the offensive line there, they can compete for first place and second place in that division. But man, that offensive line is trash. Geno Smith has been dealing with injuries in camp. We'll have to see how that plays out. I think the Arizona Cardinals will be improved as well, especially on offense, running the ball with James Conner and company. They have another running back that's really good as well. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., their number 1 draft pick. They'll be a little bit better. That offensive line and the defense is going to hold them back from competing for an NFC West title. Now, let's move on to the AFC West. Obviously, we're going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs until one of these teams unseats them. Even though in the regular season they weren't great last year. You know, they got hot when it mattered, got another Super Bowl in their trophy room. They're going for the three-peat. Second place, I'm going with the Raiders. I think the offense is going to be a lot better. They added some depth to that defensive line to help out Max Crosby. But man, Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers is going to be a tough combo to deal with. Who's going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be Aiden O'Connell? Is it going to be Gardner Minshew? But having that weapon, I'm telling you guys, Brock Bowers is going to be in line for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Mark my words. On tape, he was the most impressive prospect to me in this draft class with a lot of really good offensive players, man. All right, coming in third place, is it the Denver Broncos or the Chargers? I'm going to go with Harbaugh and the Chargers barely. The Broncos won a game somehow last year, but Bo Nix, rookie quarterback, it's a big difference. I know Sean Payton didn't love Russell Wilson, but he still statistically was pretty good last year. He wasn't great. He's not necessarily the quarterback that Payton wants in his system. Russell Wilson doesn't like to use the middle of the field like Drew Brees did. So we'll see if Bo Nix can fit into the system a little bit better. Offensively, they don't have a ton of weapons. I look for Harbaugh's team to live and die in the fourth quarter. They're going to win and lose a lot of games in the last 5 minutes of games. So if they lose a lot of those one-score games, they might be in fourth place. If they win them, third, potentially second place if they can squeak out a bunch of those close games. Third, second, fourth place, it's a coin flip for me, guys. I just like the explosiveness of that Raiders offense this year. And Max Crosby getting some depth with that big signing they had on the defensive line should be a lot of fun to watch. All right, NFL fans, now we're going to move on to the NFC South. I'm going with a new division winner. I believe in Kirk Cousins. Before he got hurt last year, he was unbelievable, and he was doing it without Justin Jefferson, just Jordan Addison and Hawkinson, who also got hurt. I think Kirk Cousins and this offense can be very successful. Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London. It might take a little bit to get that engine going, and they get off to a slow start. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think as the season goes along, Kirk Cousins is going to get comfortable, and the Falcons have a top 5, top 10 offensive line. So then we're going to go Tampa Bay second. They're pretty much bringing back the same roster as last year. They were pretty much a 500 team. I don't know if they're going to be better. I think the defense got a little bit worse. They lost some free agents. Devin White is gone to Philly, even though he wasn't great last year, but he was still a big force in the middle of that defense. Next, we're going to go. It's a coin flip for me. I think the New Orleans Saints are going to be trash this year, guys. I think they're going to be absolutely terrible. They had a very poor offensive line going into the year. Then right tackle Ryan Ramczyk got hurt. He is done for the rest of the year. Derek Carr is going to be running for his life. Olave's dealing with injuries. I don't like them. And if Carolina snuck into third place, I would not be surprised. So it's a coin flip between third and fourth place between the Saints and the Panthers. Let's move on to the AFC South. I can't see any other team winning this division except for the Houston Texans, guys. But the Indianapolis Colts are going to be nipping at their heels. It's going to be really, really close in this division. It's going to probably be separated by 1 game or possibly 2 games for the Colts and the Houston Texans. Then, in third place in this division, I'm going with a little bit of an upset here. I'm going Tennessee Titans, then the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars lost Calvin Ridley. Evan Ingram was the focal point of that offense. Travis Etienne is just okay. I think the coaching changes at head coach and offensive line are going to pay dividends for the Tennessee Titans. And they also brought in L'Jarius Sneed from Kansas City, a true number 1 man-to-man corner. He is a very, very talented guy. I think the Titans leapfrog the Jaguars, and I think the Jaguars are going to have buyer's remorse with that Trevor Lawrence contract. I don't see them winning over 7-8 games this year. All right, NFL fans, we're going to move on to the NFC North. I'm still going with the Detroit Lions. I love the offense there. The offensive line actually improved somehow. They got Sam Laporta. He is a very, very good player. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just love this team. I think they got improvement on the defensive secondary with the addition of Terry and Arnold. All right, next I'm going to go Green Bay Packers. It's going to be extremely close, man. I love this division. It's going to be very competitive. The Green Bay Packers drafted really well. They brought in Xavier McKinney, the safety, very, very talented guy. Edgerrin Cooper, the big draft guys coming in. They added some help to the offensive line as well. And then we're going to go next. We're going to go the Chicago Bears. Big-time additions on offense. Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze. The offensive line is pretty good. They got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, a slew of guys. And the Vikings, I don't know what's going to happen there. Justin Jefferson has come out saying that he's scared to get hurt again. Kirk Cousins is gone. I'm not a big Sam Darnold fan. And J.J. McCarthy is really young. I think the Vikings team is going to see some growing pains. All right, let's move on to the AFC North. All right, anyone that's fans of teams in the AFC North, don't kill me, guys. Any one of these teams can win this division. It's going to be separated by a game or two from first place to fourth place, just like last year. And I don't know if you guys are going to crush me for this, but I like the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson, before he got hurt, was playing pretty good, and he was dealing with a shoulder injury that whole time. He's going to be 100% healthy going into this season with Njoku, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore. I like that offense, and the defense is one of the best in the NFL. A great defensive line led by Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward. I think they'd win the division, and I think they win because I think the Ravens, they got a new defensive coordinator. They lost like 20 free agents, guys. A lot in the middle of the defense as well. They have lost Patrick Queen, the linebacker who's a 100-tackle guy. I just think they regress a little bit. They're going to give up some more points. They did add Derrick Henry, so we'll have to see how he looks as he gets older and older. But I just like the way the Browns match up against the Ravens. I think the Browns can beat the Ravens maybe even twice this year, guys. And then I'm going to go Pittsburgh Steelers, then the Bengals. The Steelers are better. They won, 10 games last year, and they did it with very, very poor quarterback play. The Bengals lost some free agents. They lost Tyler Boyd. They lost Joe Mixon. They lost their offensive coordinator. Joe Burrow just seems to get hurt every single year, so he's not a dependable guy. I just think Mike Tomlin is going to get the most out of this Steelers roster. And then they got TJ Watt and Highsmith. They got a great defensive line. I love the Steelers. And if the Steelers leapfrog the Ravens, I wouldn't shock me either. But honestly, the Browns, Ravens, and Steelers, any one of these teams can win this division. It's going to be who stays healthy the most. Then we're going to move on to the NFC East. I'm going with the Birds. They have the best roster in this division. The Cowboys, in my opinion, are going to come in second place. They're dealing with some injuries on the defensive side of the ball. The running back room is trash. CeeDee Lamb is holding out. They're starting 2 rookies on the offensive line. And they have a very, very tough schedule. They won all those games last year, so they have one of the harder schedules this year, right? So it's not only how quality a roster is, it's like what kind of schedule are they dealing with too? The Cowboys have a very difficult schedule. The Philadelphia Eagles got a new offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore, a new defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio. They might get off to a slow start, but I think their roster is just ultimately the best in this division. I'm going with the Giants. But if the Giants competed with the Cowboys for second place, I would not be surprised because they have Dexter Lawrence. They added Brian Burns from Carolina. The defensive line is going to put a lot of pressure on quarterbacks this year. Can Daniel Jones, who started that fight in camp against the Lions yesterday, he's looking bigger, stronger, more physical, a little more feisty. Malik Neighbors is... Did you see that catch he made in training camp? They called it out of bounds, but that was a catch. I don't care what anyone says. Neighbor is the truth, guys. He's a legitimate number 1 wide receiver in the NFL, and I think the Giants won 6 games last year. If they win 7 or 8 games this year, I would not be surprised. And if everything goes well and Daniel Jones is healthy and looks like the quarterback from a few years ago, maybe they go 9-8 this year. The Commanders, too many moving parts for me to compete this year, but the offense is going to look slick under Cliff Kingsbury with Jaden Daniels. I'm worried about that offensive line a little bit. And the defense, they added some help in the middle of the field, but I don't think the pass rush is going to be there. Their corners are just mediocre. Blah. And then AFC, I'm going with some crazy picks here. I'm going the Jets to win the division, the Dolphins to come in second, the Bills in third, and then the Patriots in third. All right, here's why I'm thinking this. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a lot of time left in the NFL. He's going balls to the walls this year. And obviously these picks are if these teams stay healthy, right? Things will change if people get hurt, especially star players. But the Bills, they lost a lot of people in that secondary, guys. A lot of their big voices in the locker room. And the Buffalo Bills are losing well over 200 targets in Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, who are both gone. They're going to depend on rookies and a lot of 12 personnel sets and running the ball a lot with James Cook. They're going to win and lose a lot of close games this year too. And if they go 8-9 or something like 9-8, that's very realistic in my opinion. I think the Dolphins and Jets can each win 10, 11 games, and it's going to come down to the wire in the AFC East. All right, guys, let me know in the comments below. How do you see these divisions playing out? Do you like my picks? Do you think I'm an absolute moron? I would love to be shredded by you guys in the comments below if you think I'm a madman. But I think I like my picks, guys. I really do. Some of these divisions, like the AFC East, the AFC South, the NFC North, are all going to be very, very competitive, man. Very competitive divisions. This is an NFL year where a lot can happen. We're going to see a mix-up of who is moving up the rankings in each division. It should be a lot of fun to watch. The NFL is only a few weeks away, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.